Pharrell Williams, Chad Hugo, and legal dispute over Neptune's trademark. We're gonna also look at what the Pusha T has to say because it seemed like he has some words about it. So this is fresh off the press. This is Monday, April 1st, 2024. So Virginia Beach, and this is something that I learned that both of the rappers or both of the artists are from Virginia, so that's cool. So Virginia Beach native Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo, aka the Neptunes, are in a legal dispute. Hugo's attorneys filed an action last week that accuses Williams, Pharrell, and his company trying to fraudulently seek sole control over various trademarks associated with the acclaimed producing duo's name. Throughout their over 30-year history, that's crazy, man. 30 years they've been together, been making millions of dollars, been selling millions of records, and seems like, from my understanding, this is the first public dispute anyway. So let's go back to the story here. Throughout their over 30-year history, Hugo and Williams agreed to and in fact have divided all assets by ignoring and excluding Hugo from the NE and all applications filed by applicant for the mark Neptunes. Applicant has committed fraud in securing the trademarks and acting in bad faith. So let me kind of let you know what this means. So it's a separate agreement between Chad Hugo and Pharrell Williams that says, hey, we're going to, all the assets that we have together as the Neptunes, we're going to divide it equally, 50-50. So you own an undivided share, I own an undivided share. You own 50%, I own 50%. So that's essentially is a private agreement. So again, and this is a good learning lesson, you have the trademark, which is you get that through the United States Patent and Trademark Office. However, you can still have separate agreements that kind of governs the way you guys do business. The partnership does business. So in this case, they have, I'm assuming that, I'm not sure if they have a legal entity filed. I would imagine that they do. And them two are the owners of this legal entity. And that's one of the agreements of that legal entity, or, just between them two, they're saying, hey, anything that we own it equally, or any assets that we own equally. And essentially we own an undivided share. So you can use it. I get to use it. I own it. You own it, so forth and so on. So that's the agreement. That's the, essentially the private agreement between Chad and Pharrell Williams. So just kind of keep that in mind, because again, you can have these separate agreements that is separate from the trademark, but however, it kind of still governs the trademark. So the trademark, and this is actually interesting. I think maybe New Edition probably should have done a similar thing, but that's beside the point. But again, the whole thing I want you to understand is you can have a separate agreement that's governing how the assets and the liabilities, for that matter, of the company is split up. So in this case, these two, according to this publication, they're saying that they had a separate agreement that said all the assets we have and that we own as the group Neptunes, we are going to own together. So that's essentially what it's saying. Let's get back to the story here. So I just said that. So throughout the 30 years, okay, so the Neptunes applicant has committed fraud in securing a trademark and acted in bad faith. So essentially they're saying, hey, Pharrell Williams, he essentially acted in bad faith because he knew this agreement was out there between Pharrell and Chad Hugo, and he didn't care. He didn't take that into consideration and put Chad Hugo's name as an applicant, as an owner of the trademark application. Once he filed it with the USPTO, he had himself as the owner of the trademark application. And as a result of that, he committed fraud, or essentially was in breach of the agreement that we had, that all the assets are going to be owned by essentially both parties. So let's continue reading here.